Knightline Now. UCF Sports News you need to know now.
Trace Trylko, Knightline Now. We're nearing the one-year anniversary of UCF quarterback McKenzie Milton's devastating leg injury that happened during last season's War on I-4 matchup in Tampa. KZ has been a constant presence with the Knights as he continues to work every day to get better and hopefully one day return to the football field. Thursday, KZ was back before the bright TV lights, microphones, and clicking cameras, the first such open mic session he's had since spring. We're taking you inside the scrum for the next 15 minutes as KZ talks about his rehab, his future, and the 2019 Knights.
Almost been a year since the injury. Is this the time of year where you start to think about maybe what happened and the kind of year that you've had?
Oh, yeah, just last week I was talking to Mary Vanderheiden, our head athletic trainer, that we're coming up on a year, and it's just been a lot of ups and downs this past year, but honestly it's gone by pretty fast considering, it's about a week from Saturday, I believe. But, just where I'm at now, it's night and day from then, and, I'm definitely grateful for where I'm at.
What's a moment of difficulty that you really had to push through?
Man, just not being out there with the guys, struggling, being triumphant with the guys. That's tough, not being there, going through wins and losses with them. I'm there, but, it's hard to have the same effect if you're not, suiting up on the field, going through that struggle with those guys. So I think that's been a struggle. But, man, I've been enjoying this year. My whole body feels pretty good, not taking a beating for, the better part of a year now. So it's been good, just learning from the coaches and, just getting a different perspective.
Building off of that, can you describe how far you've come physically and emotionally over the last year to get where you are right now?
Yeah, like I said, it's night and day from, November 23rd of a year ago. I woke up on the 24th with, metal rods in my leg. So it's definitely night and day. Been in the hands of great athletic trainers, great surgeons, and great coaches. It's a great support system. It's been the best. So I still have a long ways to go, but, I'm definitely not taking for granted where I'm at.
Where are you right now in your rehab? Or is there a timeline, or how far have you come and how far do you have to go?
It's not necessarily a timeline right now. It's just kind of day to day. But I'm busting my butt. While the guys are at practice in the weight room with David Young, one of our strength coaches. He pushes me, Bam, and Alec Haller. We're all knee guys right now, and it's kind of cool just to have guys to lean on. While we're both struggling, all three of us are struggling, trying to get back right. So, but we're all pushing weight. We're all just trying to better ourselves.
What is the next goal in your rehab that you're trying to reach?
And get this brace off. That's the next goal, and it should be some point in the near future I get this off. Just normal day function, then I'll move to a sports-specific brace. What's
the dream now?
Dream's the same. I want to go to the NFL one day. I want to play football. And then I want to coach after that. That's been my dream since I've been in high school. So none of that's changed. That's still the goal.
How much has this year being sort of a de facto coach changed your perspective a little bit on what it means to be a coach down the line?
They put in a lot of hours. Just as a player, as a quarterback, you put in a lot of hours, but you don't get a lot of time with your family, which is hard. Us as players, we're the coaches. We're an extension of their family, so just the sacrifice that they make, but that's something I'm willing to do.
Has it made you want it more now that you've seen it sort of up close?
I think so. Football is a beautiful game when it's done right. Honestly, I feel like it's a form of art when all 11 pieces are moving in the right way. And I've been around some great coaches, from Coach Frost to Coach Hype to Coach Levy. They're as good as it gets. So, if I could emulate those guys when my time comes, it'd be pretty cool.
It's too soon to know if you're going to be ready for next year.
Oh, yeah, it's too soon. That's the end goal. I want to get back out there and suit it up with my guys, but I don't want to be in a position where, I'm out there 85, 90%, not being the best player I can be for those guys. And I feel like it'd be a disservice to myself if, I'm not right or I don't fully trust the leg to, make cuts, jumps, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So,
with what's happened this year with the 3 losses, has that motivated you even more, would you say?
Not so much. I think it's maybe motivated me to, embrace more of a leadership role. Like I said, it's kind of hard, not suiting up with the guys to be a guy speaking to them, because you're not going through that struggle with them. But, I still feel like I have some influence in that locker room. We've had 3 losses, a total 7 points. So, that's not much. We're right there in a lot of those games. And, I know there's a lot of talk on Twitter or whatever of us not being the same team, but we're still a pretty good football team, I feel like. We're not far off.
We're obviously been an advisor to Dylan. What are you telling him? And obviously, you had a couple picks in the Tulsa game. What do you say to him to sort of keep him focused?
I tell him every time he steps on there, just be who you are, the best player on the field. And most times he steps on the field, he's been the best player on the field. So I just always tell him the most important play is the next play, and that's something I've always tried to harp on. Whether you throw a 70-yard touchdown or a 70-yard pick six, you got to move on and just keep working. And he's a lot of times he's the first guy in and the last guy out. So his work ethics is what's going to keep elevating him, and he's going to be a great player for us.
What's your general opinion on just Dylan's freshman season?
I think he's been good. I think he's been. I'm pretty sure statistically he's the best guy in the country as a freshman right now. So I know there's some naysayers about him, but he's going to be a really, really good football player, probably a great football player for this program. Probably beat a lot of my records, maybe all of them. I think when it's all said and done, he'll be one of the greats here.
Like, have you balance in your mind where you maybe think about the moment you put a uniform back on again?
I haven't really thought about it too much, but I know when that time comes, it'll be pretty emotional, and I'll just want to go play my heart out like I always have.
Do you see a lot of similarities between your freshman year and DJ's freshman year?
Man, he's been a lot better than I was, that's for sure. I think he's been better equipped, coming in here in the spring, having that under his belt and being able to roll. I think he has, a good supporting cast. But, the way he's just grown from spring ball to now, he's close to being a seasoned vet, I feel like, and he's only going to keep getting better. He's only going to keep getting bigger, faster, stronger. So at this point, I say he's further along than I was at that point.
When he's had a low, what have you said to him?
I ain't got to say much to him. He's been playing varsity football since his freshman year of high school, so I feel like this is nothing new for him. He's kind of been thrust into that limelight at an early age, so he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a quick memory bank in his mind, so he moves on quick. Obviously, he doesn't like losing, so he's bounced back every time we've taken a loss. So I'm sure next week against Tulane he'll be ready to roll.
Besides the brace, what physically can't you do, and what can you do at this point?
Well, I can't run yet, I can't jump yet. So, but in the near future, that'll probably be something that will be progressing physical therapy. So, it's getting close to that point, and then I think I'll start stacking blocks, and, it'll start be like a little avalanche effect where, I just keep getting better.
You still feel, sorry, Mark, one more thing. Yeah, you still feel optimistic, though, about your progress and how it's gone?
Yeah, absolutely. 50% of these cases, you don't have a leg, so I'm very optimistic. My nerve feels great. I got full feeling in my foot, so I'm building up strength right now, so I'm very grateful. I got a little baby quad coming back, hamstring muscles are there, so it's rolling right now, and I still got a ways to go. Like, I'm not saying I'll be playing next week or anything like that, but it's getting there.
Back in August, you said about how the nerve is 100%. You're just about building up strength. Since then, these last few months, what has been maybe the most encouraging goals that you've hit in these last few months in your rehab?
Being able to push some weight in some squats, pushing heavy weight in leg press, doing some walking lunges, stuff like that, just doing some more athletic movements and stuff like that. So, I don't know, just kind of feeling like an athlete again, I guess.
Did Teddy Bridgewater's success this season for the Saints motivate you?
Absolutely. I actually had Traquan get me in contact with him, just asking him, how long did it take to help have him feel normal? How long did it take to get him out of his brace playing? And he's just, first of all, he's a God-fearing man, and that's what he's harped on, since he got hurt, and just seeing him ball out at the Saints is eye-opening. And other guys, Jalen Smith, those guys had devastating, perhaps maybe career-ending injuries in some eyes, and they're two of the best players in the NFL. So.
McKenzie, a lot of people think your friend Tua should shut it down. He's going to be a high draft pick. He's been hurt. What do
Man, I mean, just knowing Tua, I know he wants to play. He's one of the toughest persons I've been around growing up, playing banged up. I mean, just the physicality back home is a lot similar to the SEC in like a high school level. I mean, if I were him, I'd play 100%. I mean, you never know when your last snap's going to be. I've kind of learned that, but I know Tua wants to play. I know he wants to get back into the playoff. I know he'd love another shot at LSU too, healthy. And, probably if he's healthy, it's probably a different story. And he still played phenomenal. But, I mean, you can kind of tell, after the game, he could barely walk. Yeah. But that just shows, the kind of toughness and grit that kid has. And, whoever gets him in the NFL is going to be extremely lucky. They got a franchise QB in him.
McKenzie, when you get back to playing quarterback, do you think having the year and a half, whatever, off and sitting and being kind of a coach, do you think that would help maybe change you as a quarterback a little bit?
I think I've seen the game from a different perspective. I think it could help me, help the other guys around me elevate their play, just knowing the nuances of the game at a different level. But, I'm still I feel like I'll still be the same guy when I do play again, just giving 100% whatever I got for the team. Maybe I'll slide a little more, but we'll see.
Where are you as far as your education? Are you on track to graduate next year?
I graduate this December, and then I'll be doing a master's from the spring to the fall. So I have a master's degree after next December, and I have my bachelor's after this December.
What kind of leader do you see in Dylan, and how has that changed over the course of this season?
He's the kind of leader that leads by action. Like I said, he works as hard, if not harder, than anybody on this team, and that's why he's earned the right to be our starter. And after a loss, he's in here the next day. After a win, he's in here the next day doing the same thing, just trying to keep getting better and better. So I think he leads by action. I think he's kind of found his voice a little bit, but I think him and I are similar in the sense that we want to earn our respect by our play and then earn that voice, because anybody can be a hoopla guy, but if you're not performing on the field, then your words are pretty empty.
McKenzie, do you know Dante Culpepper? Have you met him?
I haven't had the chance to meet him. Obviously, I know of him. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback to come through here, and a great NFL QB as well, but I haven't had the privilege to meet him yet, and hopefully, someday soon I can.
A lot of people wish he would be around the program more. Is that something you would like to see?
Yeah, I'd love for all our alumni base, whether they're Dante's level or not, to come back and check us out. He's a grown man. He's probably a busy guy, so if he ever gets free time, it'd be awesome to get him out here.
He put UCF on the map even before you guys did.
Yeah, he did, and then Blake took it to another level, and then we kind of kept it there, and hopefully we keep excelling.
In the aftermath of your injury, once going back to that day, or maybe afterwards, when you understood the full gravity of it all, if someone had told you then that you would be where you are now physically, what would you say?
I probably believe him. I don't know.
Would you be satisfied? Basically saying would you be surprised?
I don't think I'm ever satisfied. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep progressing, but I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, I've had, some of the best surgeons in the world, some of the best, probably the best athletic trainer in the country, Mary Vanderhyde, and, giving all they can to me just to get me to this point, and, it's going to keep getting better. So I wouldn't say I'd be surprised, but I'm definitely not satisfied because, I want to keep getting better, and I don't feel like I'll ever be satisfied.
McKenzie, if it comes down to the fact that you feel like you can't play, is that decision going to be your decision, or will something maybe the doctors?
I feel like it'll probably be my decision, but if the doctor said you can't go, you're not, then it is what it is. I know I gave my best shot to play football. I know I left everything out there for my guys and myself and my family, so I'd be okay with that, but I don't see that being the case. I do see, if it comes down to the doctor saying I can go and I don't feel like I can go, I feel like it'd probably be on me more so than the doctors.
What has it been like rehabbing with Bam? I know you guys are close anyway, but now you guys are both in the rehab room getting back from big-time injuries. What's it been like?
It's been a privilege, man. He's coming along. He just started walking yesterday, so it's been cool, and, he looks good. I think, he's going to be a speedy recovery guy. He's a tremendous athlete, and, that helps a lot in these rehab processes. So he looks really good, and I'm really excited for him.
Coming up on the anniversary of the injury, though, how do you feel like that day will affect you? Will you be emotional on that day?
Honestly, probably not. I don't feel like I'll be too emotional. I think it'll be a good time to reflect, like, about how far I've come, you know, and just, I don't know, the growth I've had in this past year. But I don't think I'll be too, like, I don't think I'll cry. If I do, I'll let you guys know. But
Sure you
I think I'll be good.
All right, last one.
What's harder, the physical or the mental during this?
I mean, mental for sure. I feel like I'm a pretty tough guy. Like, I've been able to play through a lot of injuries. But I mean, the mental hurdle with something like this is day in and day out. You got to make a decision to get better or not. And if you're choosing to not get better, I mean, you only get worse and worse. Your leg gets stiff. You know, if you're not bending on your knee to get range of motion back, it only gets worse and worse. So it's definitely more mental than physical because, I mean, physical pain only lasts so long. But if that mental block keeps building up and building up, you'll never come back. You'll never be right.
Learn a little bit about yourself during this process?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I know physically I'm a tough guy, but I know, you know, mentally I can overcome a lot now. And, you know, I still have a lot to overcome, but, you know, it's heading in the right direction.
So much to unpack, and we'll do our best to provide perspective on an all-new Knightline. Number 211 drops this Sunday night. Do you think we'll see McKenzie Milton wear the black and gold in a competitive game again for UCF? Talk to us. Join the conversation on our social media channels. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at UCF_Knightline. Trace Trylko, Knightline Now.